Welcome to KnicksNow.com. Jonah Ballo here with Steve Novak. The sharpshooter is back. We welcome you back to New York City. It was so exciting to hear the news that the team had re-signed you, and your reaction on Twitter and just to have you back in New York's great. So what was your first initial reactions when you heard the news?
Oh, unbelievable. I mean, I was obviously very hopeful that this would be where I would be coming back to this year. And, you know, to get it done early in the summer like we did was just unbelievable. So I have a little time to prepare and have my mind ready and that kind of thing. So there was nowhere else I wanted to be, and it worked out, so I was very happy.
You know, it's interesting. My first interview with you here at the training center when you first joined this group, you said this is where I wanted to be. I was really excited about playing for the Garden, and it kind of carried through. Yeah. Now that you get a chance to come back, what is the second stage? What is the second year going to bring for Steve Novak in a Knicks uniform?
You know, the beautiful thing is it's hard to know till we really get going, but I mean, obviously we have high goals for ourselves. I think the job that the front office did in building the team that we have for this year is exactly what all of us as players want. We want an opportunity to win a championship, and we feel like we have that with this group. So, you know, I'm just so proud to be a part of that, proud to be a part of New York City, and you know, hopefully we can just continue to build. And obviously it's a lot of new guys, so we need some time to kind of mesh, but I think having the preseason that we'll have this year is really going to help.
All right, Jason Kidd comes in. You bring in Marcus Camby, Kurt Thomas, some veterans who have been there before. What do you think about the additions this offseason and the way the franchise approached this summer?
Yeah, I think it's great. I think, you know, we got a little bit older, but I think because we're being built, I think, to win right now, you know, to win in the next few years. It makes a lot of sense to me. I think the fans understand it, and people have really embraced, I think, you know, the direction that we're going. And you can kind of feel it. You know, we've become a little bit more veteran, like you said, with Jason Kidd and Marcus Camby and those guys. It's like, they're great additions. They're going to help us win. They're leaders, and I think it's just going to make our bench deeper. And I think we've really built a team that, you know, can make a long run in the playoffs.
Now you're going to be able to hold down J.R. Smith, all that energy that he brings. He's biking around New York City on Twitter, and he's doing crazy stuff. But to bring him back too was a big piece of the puzzle.
Oh, huge. I mean, the threat that he is always. He can get 30 points for you one night, or he can get 10 assists for you one night. He's just out there, and he's somebody that teams have to game plan for. So the way, you know, that he was able to find me a lot of times in the game and score the ball himself, I think makes him such a huge threat. So I was really, really happy. We were talking, texting throughout the summer saying, you know, what are you hearing, what are you doing? And, you know, when I knew I was coming back and he knew he was coming back, I was really excited.
All right, I'm sure you were watching the action in London. The team brings home the gold. What did you think of Carmelo Anthony and Tyson Chandler playing together on that team and capturing gold?
It was great. You know, I was, you know, my little guy was napping while the game was on, and my wife kept telling me I needed to be quiet because I was yelling and it would be a big play, or they were flopping and I was getting mad or something like that. But Carmelo played so well, and Tyson, you know, every time you hear a report about the team, it was always talking about Tyson being one of the intangible guys who just was like the core of that team. He was like the biggest cheerleader when he wasn't in, and I think just that energy and that selflessness that you saw from Tyson, I think really you could see throughout the team. And obviously they represented the U.S. so well, and it's going to be awesome for those guys to come home with a gold.
From an offensive player, this is a good question for you. I watched Carmelo Anthony very closely during these Olympic Games. He seemed so quickly with the ball. He was trying to get his shots off early, catch and shoot. Now he's playing with an amazing cast of players, but he really seemed to increase the way his offensive output, I should say. Would you see out of Carmelo maybe some changes that he's making that could carry over to next season?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, I think you saw that was the group of the best players in the world, and the way he was able to just really fit into that offense and be such a big piece, it's just a huge credit to Carmelo as a player. You can kind of see that, yes, he is one of the top players in the world, and when he is with that top group, he's still one of the top players in the world. So he's on our team, he's on the New York Knicks, and I think that, you know, we're just going to build off of him, and we know that he's our centerpiece, you know, he just showed how good he is, and I think that we just need to really just always try to continue to find ways to blend how good he is and how good our offense is together.
Did you ever drop 37 points in 14 minutes?
No, I've never done that. That's pretty special with that kind of competition. You know, it's not like anybody's sneaking up on anybody in the Olympics, and they were ready for him, and he still was able to do that. So it's pretty unbelievable.
All right, the final question, and we're going to talk to you a little bit about Amari Stoudemire training with Hakeem Olajuwon. So everybody's kind of out there doing their own thing, but he's working with a legend there in the post. How do you think that can transform his game and take his game to the next level?
You know, I think anytime you're just simply that focused, whether it's you're working with Hakeem or you have just a really strict workout routine, it just shows how much he cares about this upcoming season. And to have your mind continuously every day twice a day like he is, working out with Hakeem and focusing on this season and thinking about how he's going to score and how he's going to fit those things to our offense just shows, I think, where he's at mentally, what he wants this year to be. And I think it's just going to put us in a great place because we all know if he's working that hard and he's with Hakeem and he's doing two-a-days, we all need to fall in line. And I think we're all going to be ready coming into training camp. I was working out the last 3 days with Raymond Felton, and he looks great, shooting the ball well. He looks like he's in great shape. And, we're just going to try to use that momentum to start the year strong.
All right, you're getting me psyched for the season. The fans out there on all our social networks are ready for you to come back and the whole team to be ready to go. Game 1 against Brooklyn, when you saw the schedule, Brooklyn, and then you got Miami Heat at home the following game, what'd you think?
It's a beautiful way to start. I know Brooklyn's going to be filled up with Knicks fans. There's just no doubt about it. It's never been any other way. It'll be full of Knicks fans, and we look forward to that. That's always a great feeling, going there and knowing that we have the majority of the building.
All right, it's great as always to catch up with Steve Novak. Thank you so much for your time. Have a great time with Dream Week here in New York, and we'll be catching up with you soon.
Sounds good. Thank you.
There he is. Discount Double Check, also known as Steve Novak, right here on KnicksNow.com.